Hi, I'm back. I hope di kayo nagsasawa sa pakikinig. Sapat ako, hindi ako nagsasawa, and I really am enjoying recording this lessons. And today, we will be studying another name. And this is the name of Jehovah, or our light. Jehovah or, on spelling po, Ori. But you pronounce it as or. Jehovah or, the Lord my God. Now let us go to the book of Psalm 27 verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Now here, David was talking to himself. Ang tawag po niya sa literature is soliloquy. When you are talking to yourself, yun po yun, ang tawag. And he was talking to himself, kanina ba ako dapat matatakot? Uh, ang Diyos ang aking ilaw, sa Diyos ang aking kaligtasan, kanina ako matatakot. Hindi ako matatakot sa inyo. Kung matatakot man ako, sa Diyos na ako matatakot. Because He is my light, He is my stronghold, and whom shall be afraid? And in the book of Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 and 2. Now listen. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. Verse 3. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. Now, God saw that the light was good, and He separated the light from darkness. And God called light day, and the darkness He called night. And there was evening, and there was morning the first day. Now, just take note. In the beginning, God created the universe, verse 1, perfectly. But in verse 2, it records that and the world and the earth was formless and void. Something went wrong between Genesis 1 and Genesis 1 and 2. And so, when the earth was formless and void, God recreated the world. And the first thing that He did was create light by His word. Wala po siyang, di siya tumawag sa Meralco, di siya tumawag kung saan mga kooperatiba. He is our light. He is our Jehovah or. Sa Kanya nanggagaling lahat ng liwanag. If there is a sun, it's because God created it. If there is a moon, it is because God created it. And even the flashlight and all these fluorescent bulbs that we have, it was God who gave wisdom to the inventors. So still, it was God who gave them the ability to create light. Why? Because no one can give us light. No one can separate day and night, only God. And so each day we experience 12 hours of light and 12 hours of night. But of course, there are moments when the night is shortened and the day is shortened. But no matter, God separated the darkness from the light. And so, darkness has nothing to do with light because when there is light, darkness will surely disappear. So, because light is very powerful, and light talks about life. And here, God introduced Himself and sabi, the Lord is my light. Jehovah or is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And so, without Jehovah or, we cannot see the beauty of God and life and salvation. Kaya nga, God Himself created first light that we might see God and His creation, that we might see the glory of God. Without light, you will never see the glory of God because the darkness has nothing to do with light. And when light comes, the glory of God comes, it will cover the entire place. Isaiah 6 says that His glory covers the temple. Mga kapatid, we all need God, Jehovah or. This world is full of darkness. Marami na po kadiliman sa ating paligid. And the name Jehovah or reminds us that God illuminates our path. dispel our fears, and lead us throughout the darkness. And so, when you believe in God, if you know God, and there is darkness in your life, madilim na ang iyong buhay, turn to God. I'm drinking coffee. Oh, that's good. And when darkness falls into your life, remember you have Jehovah Or. He is our light. He can give you illumination to brighten your path. And sabi, thy word is a lamp to my path. Now, who is that word? Jesus Christ, our God. So our God, the light, the word, is the lamp unto our feet, and we will not stumble. Kaya nga mga kapatid, yung mga Christians na laging pa stumble, not that they only, that they are weak, but I think they don't see and understand Jehovah Or. Kasi pagka alam mo na ang Diyos natin sa our life, liliwanag ang daraanan mo. Hindi yan didilim. And the very name of Jehovah as the light and the salvation, the stronghold of our life, imply darkness and besetting powers. Kadiliman at makaaway na siyang umaatake sa atin. And that's why David made a confident declaration of his faith in God. Ang sabi niya, the Lord is my light and my salvation. And he was speaking of the trouble from the enemies, adversaries, and false witnesses and violent people. But his confident declaration of his faith in God gave him all the assurances that he will be safe and victorious because of his confidence in God, his light and salvation. Kapatid, hindi ka pwedeng agawin ng demonyo. If you have the light, makikita mo yung mali, makikita mo yung tama. Kung nakita mo na yung tama, dapat yung tama nang gagawin mo. Sapat sabi po ni Santiago, if you know what is right and you did not do it, then you sin. That's why God, Jehovah Or, comes to our lives daily to brighten our path and to give us the light that we need, especially when darkness falls into our life. Mga kapatid, David has a strong desire to know God as the light. He wants to behold the beauty of God. And you cannot see the beauty of God, meaning you cannot see the glory of God without Him showing Himself as the light. The light of God gives David a clear vision of the beauty of God. Now here, kapatid, I need you to understand this. If you have Jehovah, if you know Jehovah Or personally, intimately, you will have a clear vision of the beauty of God. God is magnificent. God is awesome. God is wonderful. He's full of splendor. He's majestic. Oh, he's so wonderful. And you will be able to see those if you know that God is Jehovah Or, the light. We cannot see the beauty of God with our own eyes. Imposible. We need the light of God Himself for us to see His glory and beauty. So, for us to do that, let us dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And that is what David wrote in Psalm 23, verse 6. Surely goodness and loving kindness shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. You see, nakita na niya yung kanyang uuwian. Even when he was still on earth, David already saw what God has prepared for him. In Isaiah 9, verses 1 and 2, it says, the day of Isaiah was marked with some threats from the enemy. The Assyrians was about to attack them. The people were in danger and there was gloom and darkness among them. But the Bible tells us, and there was no more gloom. Let us go to that book. Isaiah. Minsan pag binabasa ko Isaiah, masaya, no? Isaiah. Oh, masarap. Okay, let me quickly go to Isaiah chapter 9. It says, Nevertheless, verse 1, there will be no more gloom for those who were in distress. In the past, he humbled the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali. But in the future, he will honor Galilee of the Gentiles by the way of the sea. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of the shadow of death, a light has dawned. And so, if you feel like you are now living in the shadow of death, know God, pray to God, and God will show you that there is life, that there is light, even in the midst of darkness. And so, even when you are in a situation that brings you darkness, fear God, not the enemy. And wait upon the Lord, and not wait upon your destruction. Because there is no gloom if you are in God. For God will never and never forsake you. Because light, you can never distinguish light. Ah, kaya nga, when the morning comes, nothing can stop the rising of the sun. Because every morning, God would want you to know that He is with you. He wants to give you new life, new hope, new grace and mercy every morning. And so, God set His Son to be the light and the life of this world. And in Him, there is no darkness. Ano sabi niya? I am the life. And so, the glory of God is actually shown in the life of Jesus Christ. But nobody understood it. Why? Because they were looking at the literal appearance of Jesus Christ. He was a Jew wearing a Jewish clothing, and he would walk from here in that what miles and after miles, and then he even was crucified and insulted. So they did not see the glory of God. But if you will study carefully the life of God, Jesus Christ, I mean, on this earth, you will see God and all His glory in the life of Jesus Christ. And when He carried the cross, it's all about the glory of God. When He went to Lazarus, Lazarus died, He went to his sisters, and sabi niya, this sickness will not lead to death because God allowed this for you to see the glory of God. And so, on the death of Jesus Christ at the cross, yes, we see death. But in His death, the glory of God shines so bright because on His death, Jesus put death to death, and death has no more sting. That is what the light is giving to us. And then He will come as the light for the Gentiles so that salvation may come. And the Redeemer and the Holy One of Jacob, he will be despised, he will be insulted. But God, the light, will surely come. Psalm 36, verse 9, Jesus is the fountain of life. In His light, we see light. And Jesus is the true light that gives light to everyone, John 1:9. So therefore, arise, shine, for the light has come. Isaiah 61 to 5. Brothers and sisters, wonderful this is. Walk while you have the light. Baka abutan ka ng gabi. Baka wala kang flashlight, di mo na makikita dadaanan mo. But even during the night, kahit wala kang flashlight, if you have Jesus Christ, you have Jehovah or, and He will brighten your path. So keep your body full of light, meaning live your life as a children of light. In the last days will be full of darkness. See to it that your life, your eyes is not in darkness. Luke 11:33 to 36. Ang sabi naman sa Ephesians 5:8, for you were once darkness, but you are now the light, are light in the Lord. Live as children of light. So mga kapatid, you are no longer an ordinary. If you're studying this, that means you are already living and knowing God personally. We are the light of this world because of Jesus Christ's presence in our life. Don't hide your life. Alam niyo ang ilaw, hindi mo may tatago. Kahit itago mo yun, makikita pa rin yan. So keep it shining because you are the salt and light, and no light can be hidden. And Revelation 21:23 to 24, the city does not need the sun or the moon to shine on it. For the glory of God gives us light. So, what will give us light in the last days? The glory of God. And the lamp is its light. Now, take note. We are studying Jehovah or in the Old Testament, but in the New Testament, we are being told now here that Jesus Christ is Jehovah or He is God. He is light. And the nation will walk by its light, and the kings of the earth will bring the splendor into it. Brother and sister, when David wrote, "The Lord is my light and my salvation," he was declaring a confident confession that he knows God. He knows God as his light and salvation. That's why he doesn't fear anything anymore. Because when you have the light, just like David, makikita mo yung masama, makikita mo yung mali, iiwasan mo na yon. Because ang susundan mo na lamang ay yung mabuti at maganda and the righteous one from God. God bless you and hope to see you again on our next lesson.